Hey everybody and welcome to the Bullshit Party. And in this one we're gonna be taking a closer look at the new Podium vehicle, the Dinka Sugoi. And if you've seen my videos before, you know that I like to start things with seeing how interactive the car is. Basically see what I can open on it. And I'm very happy to report that the Dinka Sugoi is, well, very interactive. You can open all four doors, the hood and the trunk. Now why would you want to know that information? I have no idea, but there you have it. And before we head over to Los Santos Customs, I just want to mention a thing that I usually skip over in these videos. That's right, I don't pay enough attention to the headlights of the cars that I'm reviewing, well, quote-unquote reviewing. As you can see, the bumper part of the headlight lights up when I put on the high beam. And talking about lighting, this is what the interior looks like at night. Not bad, all in all, I really like the level of detail so far on this car. And in a blink of an eye, it's daytime again, so it's time for us to get going to Los Santos Customs. But we need to do something before we get there. We need to see if the car is an all-wheel drive, a front-wheel drive, or a rear-wheel drive. And one very scientific test later, it proves that the car is in fact front-wheel drive. That comes to no surprise, especially since the car is modeled, in my opinion that is, after the Honda Civic R-Type. And taking off to the streets, the car feels extremely awkward. I don't remember the last front-wheel drive car that I've driven. It's probably the Mini Cooper knockoff. What was it? The Mini Classic? Easy Classic? Something like that. Anyway, the Easy Classic was a Podium vehicle one week and I did a video review of it. And I really didn't like it. And yes, that was intentional, just to show you what can happen if you drive recklessly. Anyway, as I was saying, the thing that I really hated about the Easy Classic was that it was a front-wheel drive car. Now, I don't know if I'm speaking just for myself here, or there are other people who feel this way, but front-wheel drive cars just don't feel good in GTA games. They feel sloppy, horrible to drive, case in point, and they just feel extremely out of place. I'm genuinely struggling on every turn that I do with this car. I mean, it's just ridiculous, but hopefully putting on a spoiler on it and boosting up the performance is gonna help out. Awesome. Well, at least we've learned so far that it's durable. I mean, I've crashed through almost everything and seems to be holding up alright. So all that's left now is just to go to Los Santos Custom and customize it. Perfect.
What brings you in today?
As always, of course, the first thing we do is repair the vehicle and then immediately afterwards go to the sell option. Just so we can confirm that this is in fact the Podium vehicle of the week. I'm noticing a lot of bozos using the 9 to 6 method, not crediting me, and just making fake videos, not even winning the car. Anyway, bozos aside, next thing we do is upgrade all the performance options of the car. This is something that I do usually in the beginning, just to avoid skipping over something. We're here not only to make the car pretty, but also to make it fast after all. And if you liked the video so far, please don't forget to leave a like, it really helps out the channel a lot. And we have transmission, turbo, and we are done with the performance, I believe. And now it's time for the fun stuff. First, the front diffuser. This looks like a fun modern street car, so I'm gonna make it look as fun and as ridiculous as possible. Not ridiculous enough, there we go. Yep, that's the one. And next up we have the rear diffuser, and let's see what options we have here. Okay, like this one. Okay, this one is not bad. Yeah, definitely gonna be, yep, this one. Exhaust, maybe do a quad exhaust on this, if it's an option. Okay, we have 3 so far. No, I don't see a quad exhaust system, but I guess, yeah, I guess this one. Next up we have the grille. Let's see what looks best here. Okay, so it's definitely gonna be 2 colors. And I definitely think, yeah, the last one. Let's see what the hood options are. Carbon, yep. Not a lot of good options for the hood though, I'm surprised. I think I like the stock one best, but I'm gonna go with this one. Next up we have the lights, and this is something that I don't usually do, but since we're going for a modern street ludicrous car, let's put a neon on it. I think a lot of the colors look cool on the car, but ultimately we're gonna go with yellow cause, well, keep watching the video and you'll find out why. I'm not gonna touch the livery at the moment and see how the car looks painted, and then I'll decide if I want to keep it or not. Mirrors, always go with carbon. Always go with the black license plate. And yes, I'm intentionally skipping over the respray option. I want to leave changing of the color of the car for last. Now let's see which option has the biggest roof scoop. I think it's this. Oh yeah, it's definitely this one. Come on. Next up, we have the skirts, and here, bigger is always better. So I'm just gonna choose the biggest one they have and hope for the best. And when it comes to spoilers, and if you've seen my videos before, you know that I don't really like spoilers that are big and flashy and actually look like spoilers. But since we're making a fun looking car, or a stupid looking car as some people might say, we're gonna choose the most ludicrous spoiler they have. So let's go with this one. Some people might see this spoiler and tell me, bullshit, you're overcompensating for something. And to those people I say, maybe. When it comes to wheels, of course I'm gonna go to the sport wheels and see what options we have there. I think it needs to be something simple. I sorta like the stock rims, so yeah, maybe those ones. And choosing a color for them is very difficult since we don't have a primary color on the car yet. At this point I sorta started to wonder, what if I paint the entire car yellow? It's gonna look like a giant yellow Skittle. So I went over all the options one by one, I looked at them closely, but I really didn't like any of them. So I just went with the black color, you know, the stock color. Of course, doing a small tint on the windows, that's a must. And it's finally time to respray the car, so let's see what color we're gonna make it. And for that I'm gonna go to a poll that I posted a couple of days ago. And in that poll I asked, what color do you want to see my car in this week's review video? Well, quote unquote review video. And I see we have over 4,000 votes, and let's see what color won. And of course it did. You guys are trolls. I'm just kidding, this is a lot of fun for me, and this time I'm gonna do it a little bit differently. Leave a comment down below with a color you want to see in the poll for next week's vehicle. The 5 colors with the most votes are gonna be chosen for the poll for next week's vehicle. And getting back to what I'm doing here, I'm gonna choose the secondary color, and of course I'm gonna go with red, because it just looks dope. And for the interior color, of course we're gonna go with red as well. Yep, this one. And seeing how the car looks right now, I think it's time to remove the livery. So goodbye livery, and hello awesome gold car with red accents. To be honest, I was a little bit skeptical about this one, especially with the giant spoiler, but I gotta say, I don't mind looking at it. I think we did okay, but what do you guys think? What would you rate the car from 1 to 10? I'm curious to know. Oh, the car looks great, yes, but how does it drive? After all, this is the major part of why we came here. First of all, the car, well, doesn't sound bad. It sounds fairly aggressive and it sounds rumbly. It sounds appropriate, is what I can say. And secondly, I'm gonna let you decide for yourself if slapping a big wing on the back did anything for the handling of the car. In case you're having trouble deciding for yourself, no, it didn't. It feels horrible, and I'm convinced at this point that front-wheel drive cars are just not for GTA. I spent, I believe, 150,000 in performance options alone, and the car doesn't feel any better. And I get asked all the time, do you drive intentionally so bad? The answer to that is, well, yes, of course. No, I don't. But this week I have a legitimate excuse. It's a front-wheel drive car. And I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of comments telling me I can't drive and that's the only reason that I'm crashing all the time, but no, believe me, it drives horribly. Doing a corner in this thing is like doing homework. And I don't know about you, but I hated doing homework. In closing, I have to say that the car is sort of worth it. Well, of course, depending when you watch the video, that is. If you got it because you want it from the Lucky Wheel, well, in that case, it's free. So, why complain about it? Customize it and then leave it in your garage. I have no problem with how the car looks and the customization options. Just what I wanted to do. Anyway, as I was saying, this one's definitely a garage queen, but if you got it for free, good for you. But if you're looking to spend $1 million on it, I suggest better look at alternatives. And with that glorious demonstration of how the car handles, I think it's time to end the video. Thank you so much for everybody who watched this far. If you liked the video, please don't forget to leave a like. And if you're not yet a subscriber, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.